Good evening, guys. Good afternoon to all the friends around the globe for this live commentary of Brazilian Grand Prix from Interlagos circuit. What a qualifying we had yesterday. All the drama started right from the 2 minutes of qualifying session 1 and it went on till the last 1 minute of this qualifying session which held yesterday. Lewis Hamilton, who was favorite, he was chucked out in very first minute on the warm-up lap itself when he hit the barrier. Here on, it was all following a battle where Fernando Alonso, McLaren came out very strongly and they finished 7th to be starting today. And all the drama continued with Daniel Ricciardo, where today he's going to have engine penalties and he's going to start way down the order. So we are here for Brazilian Grand Prix, live coming out with me, Naresh, Autocars India, your host. Do remember to like and subscribe my channel by hitting the subscribe button on the right bottom corner of your screens. Also a very special race for Felipe Massa. The second time retirement, first time was last year. This time he's finally retiring from Williams. He's going to start 9th today and we expect some great results. Just to remind you, Felipe Massa holds the record of leading maximum laps in Brazilian Grand Prix, right? So Felipe Massa is definitely a stronger bet in this home circuit for him. To give you the starting lineup, Valtteri Bottas, Mercedes, starts on pole. Alongside him, Sebastian Vettel of Ferrari. Kimi Räikkönen, his teammate, starts 3rd. Alongside him, Max Verstappen, Red Bull. Strong showing yesterday once again. Starts in 4th position. 5th position, Sergio Perez. One of the best starts for Sergio Perez in this year. Alongside him, Fernando Alonso, McLaren. Very strong finish. In 6th position, he is going to start today. Nico Hülkenberg, Renault, alongside with his teammate Carlos Sainz, will start 7th and 8th. Felipe Massa, Williams, with all the chances of great finish, start in 9th. Alongside him is Esteban Ocon. Force India starts 10th. Roman Grosjean, Haas, starts 11th. Stoffel Van Dorn, McLaren, starts 12th. Kevin Magnussen, Haas, starts 13th. Daniel Ricciardo, courtesy engine penalties, will be starting 14th here. Daniel Ricciardo, because of the engine penalties, he got series of engine penalties rather, and he's been demoted to start off in this position. Pascal Wehrlein, Sauber, starts off 15th. Lance Stroll, Williams, also having the penalties with him. He starts 16th. Marcus Ericsson, Sauber, starts 17th. Alongside him, 18th, Brendan Hartley, Kiwi driver, starts in Toro Rosso in 18th. Pierre Gasly, also having the engine penalties, will start 19th. And last will be Lewis Hamilton, 4-time world champion, who has been crowned the 4-time world champion. Last race in Mexico, starts last on the grid and rather from the pit lane. Let's see what Lewis Hamilton does in this race to bring up in the order as he did in Mexico. Also, it will be a very interesting race for Lewis Hamilton and we expect a lot of action in this race around. Just to line up with more details on the engine penalties, Daniel Ricciardo, who had qualified 5th, but he'll be demoted to back of the grid following the series of engine penalties. Eventually he will start 14th due to other drivers also having penalties. By Daniel Ricciardo penalty, this promotes Sergio Perez to 5th and Fernando Alonso lining up 6th on the grid. Toro Rosso, Brendan Hartley and Pere Gasly, also due to engine penalties. Lance Stroll was penalized for a gearbox change. Valtteri Bottas yesterday went on to get the pole by 300 of the second difference between him and Sebastian Vettel, his third career pole. And very interesting statistics, Valtteri Bottas 3 times, this is the 3rd time he's on pole. Last 2 times when he was on pole, he started the race on the pole, he won the races. So will he be making hat-trick? It will be time to tell this tonight. Also, Felipe Massa, very strong on the home circuit. We'll see what Felipe Massa does today. So we are all set to start of the Brazilian Grand Prix in just few minutes of time. Great job done by McLaren Fernando Alonso yesterday, where Stoffel Van Dorn is going to start 12th and Fernando Alonso starts strong 6th position here. Give you some history of this track. First Grand Prix was held in 1973. The name Autodromo Jose Carlos Pace, and the name of Jose Carlos, the Formula 1 driver. 71 laps of this race, 4.309 kilometers circuit length, 15 corners, race distance of 305.909 kilometers. Lap record held by Juan Pablo Montoya of Colombia in 2004, 1 minute 11.473. The lap record has already been broken during this weekend, where drivers have touched 1 minute 8 second timing. This is a great circuit, where one of the highest circuits in terms of elevation above the sea level. The height of this circuit is 782 meters above the sea level, and 40 meters of elevation changes are present in this circuit. 2 DRS zones and very fast flowing circuit. Speeds in excess of 300 kilometers per hour. We are all set for great weekend here in Interlagos. Looks like there is some drama for Kimi Räikkönen happening, as mechanics are working frantically on the Finns car as the clock ticks down to the start of formation lap here. As national anthem gets over, drivers are heading back to their cars, getting strapped, and grid begins to clear. Tension is mounting as usual. Felipe Massa has just gone into his Williams. Brazilian has given a kiss on the helmet by his father before being strapped in. Good luck to Lewis. Good luck to Felipe Massa for the last race of his career. On the other side, Lewis Hamilton is looking cool and calm and collected in his Mercedes garage, as he's going to start from the pit lane. Felipe Massa was joined by his dad, Filipino, on the grid at the time of national anthem, and wishing him good luck for his last Grand Prix of his career. It's a huge crowd who has turned out in this circuit, and as usual, this circuit has never been short of the crowd. Temperature is about 28 degrees Celsius and bright blue skies, no signs of rain, and this will have definitely effect on tire degradation here. Autodrome Jose Carlos Pace, round number 19, Brazil. It's all set to start off. 1 laps, 3 sectors, lap distance 4.309 kilometers, 15 corners, elevation change of 43 meters, 2 DRS detection zones. Lap record held by Williams John Pablo Montoya of Colombia in 2004, 1 minute 11 seconds. Brazilian Grand Prix starts in 4 minutes time, to be precise, from now onwards. Electrifying atmosphere in the circuit. Felipe Massa last race, as we have 4 minutes to start off for the last Grand Prix of Felipe Massa. This is Naresh, your Autocars India host, bringing you live commentary. Lewis Hamilton in his car in the pit lane, as he is going to start from the pit lane. Valtteri Bottas starts from the pole, and I'm sure we're going to have a great action as Max Verstappen starts 4th, and he will try definitely to overtake both the Ferraris. Starting grid, Valtteri Bottas starts pole, Sebastian Vettel alongside him, Kimi Raikkonen 3rd, another Ferrari, Max Verstappen starts 4th, Sergio Perez Force India 5th, Fernando Alonso starts 6th, strong 6th for Fernando Alonso McLaren. Nico Hülkenberg Renault starts 7th, 8th alongside him his teammate Carlos Sainz. Felipe Massa starts 9th, local hero Esteban Ocon 10th, Force India 11th, Roman Grosjean Haas alongside him Stoffel Vandoorne of McLaren starts 12th, Kevin Magnussen Haas starts 13th. With 10th place grid penalty, Daniel Ricciardo starts 14th, Pascal Wehrlein starts 15th in Sauber, alongside him Lance Stroll starts 16th, 5th place grid penalty, another 5th place grid penalty for Marcus Ericsson starts 17th, alongside him 10th, 25th place grid penalty on 19th starts Pierre Gasly, and Lewis Hamilton starts from the pit lane. This is the 14th front row start for Mercedes of 2017 season, and Valtteri Bottas would like to cash in this start. The stage is set, crowd are in their seats. We are all ready to go here at Interlagos. Hamilton is not the only driver today who is looking to come through the field today. Of course, Daniel Ricciardo also starts in P14 as a grid penalty. Let's see how high these drivers can climb on the order. This will be Massa's last race. As the mechanics and team members start clearing off the cars on the grid, drivers strapped in firmly in their cars. We are all set for the formation lap to go. As the lights goes off and the formation lap starts off with Bottas leading the field. Looks like Raikkonen engineer has told him that they have had issues with the telemetry system on his Ferrari ahead of the race, so we might have to see Kimi Raikkonen fly solo in the field without any additional data. It will be an interesting race for Kimi Raikkonen here. as Felipe Massa exchanges the words with his team, saying thank you for all the support given to Felipe Massa for so many years. Everyone is starting on the super soft tires except Ricciardo, Ericsson, Gasly and Hamilton, who are on soft tires. As Valtteri Bottas comes around, getting the temperatures up in their tires, blue skies with no sign of rain. We are looking for a very clean race here. Hamilton already wrapped up the championship. 15 points difference between Vettel and Bottas, which will be crucial for Valtteri Bottas here to win this Grand Prix. However, Sebastian Vettel is not going to do any good for Valtteri Bottas. He will try to snatch. Massa says, okay guys, I'm here on the lap on the grid. Just an amazing feeling. The only thing I can say is love you guys. Thank you very much for all you have done for me. Thank you very much, as Felipe Massa passes on the message to his team from the team radio. Valtteri Bottas with his car stationary in the box. We wait for the other cars. To line up. We are just a moment away from the start as Lewis Hamilton lines up his car at the end of the pit lane. As the final two Toro Rosso bringing up their cars at the tail, we are set for Brazilian Grand Prix to get started. As 5 red lights, 3, 4, 5 comes on and they go off. Brazilian Grand Prix has started. Very good start for Vettel. Bottas is way a little bit behind, but Bottas tries to catch up. Vettel gets a lead clearly. Bottas in second, Raikkonen third, Max Verstappen fourth, Fernando Alonso in fifth position already, and we have a problem. Daniel Ricciardo hits with somebody. Accident of Daniel Ricciardo. Sector 1. So Sebastian Vettel leads Brazilian Grand Prix first lap, Valtteri Bottas in second, Kimi Raikkonen third, Max Verstappen fourth, Fernando Alonso fifth, Williams sixth, and contact between Haas and Force Indias. Now, this will be first ever retirement for Esteban Ocon in Formula 1. Safety car has been called. Daniel Ricciardo also has been hit, but he's back on the track. He's behind Lewis Hamilton. It will be interesting to see if he has some damage, and there was no reason exactly at the same place where Lewis Hamilton had come off the track, and both the guys gets on the same place. Ocon and Grosjean had collided. Team asking Daniel Ricciardo, any damages? He says, I'm not sure. But at least he has got going again, once again. As Esteban Ocon also limping to the pits, hoping that he doesn't catches up big damages. But no, it's game over for Esteban Ocon. He's out. This will surely help Lewis Hamilton to come up on the grid. And this has triggered the pit stops. as Grosjean and Ocon had the collision. Ocon is stranded on the circuit. Grosjean car is being pulled off. Daniel Ricciardo somehow gets his car back to the pits. Everybody is looking to have a change of tires here. As Sebastian Vettel leads the Brazilian Grand Prix drama in very first lap. Bottas is second, Raikkonen third, Max Verstappen fourth, Alonso in strong fifth, Massa sixth, already climbed 3 places, 7th Sergio Perez, Nico Hülkenberg and Sainz in 8th and 9th position, with Pierre Gasly in 10th position. Van Dome is also out. He had the collision with Daniel Ricciardo. Vettel had a slightly better traction on the track and he could squeeze in his car ahead of Bottas. Whereas Ricciardo, he gets entangled and contact with Force India. What a costly first lap for Stoffel Vandoorne and Kevin Magnussen, as Sebastian Vettel manages to come ahead of Valtteri Bottas, who was all set for squeezing Sebastian Vettel. Oh, Stoffel Vandoorne was sandwiched between Daniel Ricciardo and other Haas car with no reason. But that's the beauty of this circuit. Don't have much time to go across. So as the safety car still on the track, we are in lap 3 of 71. Sebastian Vettel behind the safety car leading Brazilian Grand Prix, and he comes to the pits as the safety car is traversing through the pit lane as the track is not clear. Drivers have to follow the safety car. No overtaking is allowed during this period. Vettel leading, Bottas second, Raikkonen third, Verstappen fourth, Fernando Alonso fifth position. Strong fifth position for Fernando Alonso. Massa sixth, Perez seventh, Nico Hülkenberg, Sainz 8th and 9th, Pierre Gasly 10th, Marcus Ericsson 11th, Brendan Hartley 12th, Stroll 13th, Lewis Hamilton 14th, Verlaine 15th, 16th Grosjean, Ricciardo 17th, Ocon, Magnussen, Vandoorne out of the race. So things are pretty clear after lap 4. Still behind the safety car. Vettel is leading. Behind him is Bottas, Raikkonen, Verstappen, Alonso, Massa, Perez, Hülkenberg, Sainz and Gasly completing the top 10. Ericsson 11th, Hartley 12th, Stroll 13th, 14th Hamilton, Verlaine 15th, Grosjean 16 and 17 Daniel Ricciardo. Drivers out of the race already: Esteban Ocon, Force India, Kevin Magnussen, Haas and Stoffel Vandoorne, McLaren. As the track is being cleared, looks to be a golden opportunity for Fernando Alonso to score some great points here. So safety car will be in this lap. As Sebastian Vettel tries to slow down the field as much as possible to get a clear air in front of him. And here we go racing once again. Sebastian Vettel has a clear getaway with Daniel Ricciardo last and he's already attacking. Daniel Ricciardo in last position, already attacking Roman Grosjean. Sebastian Vettel had a clear go. He's picking up the lead now on Valtteri Bottas. Max Verstappen trying to touch behind Kimi Raikkonen. Fernando Alonso has already been overtaken by Felipe Massa. What a great start by Felipe Massa after the safety car. He's already in 5th position now. Wonderful, Felipe Massa, congratulations. Fernando Alonso in 6th position and he will try to get his position back. Fernando Alonso, as Daniel Ricciardo back of the field is trying to cover up as many positions as possible. Lewis Hamilton also doing the same process. And Lewis Hamilton sweeps around the side of Lance Stroll, Williams. Massa is the man on mission. He dives past Alonso into 5th after the start. And he clears McLaren. It was purely a Mercedes engine power which Felipe Massa got a hang on it. As Lance Stroll has been overtaken by Lewis Hamilton for 12th position. Daniel Ricciardo also in the process of overtaking in lap 7. Lewis Hamilton in 13th position now. As we go in the lap 7th, now Hamilton has overtaken Marcus Ericsson and he's in 11th position already. Next man is Gasly in 10th position. Lewis Hamilton is on mission now. And remember, Lewis Hamilton is starting on soft tires, so he will have a longer life on his tires. DRS has been enabled, as Bottas is already 1.6 seconds down on Sebastian Vettel time. Raikkonen in third, Verstappen in fourth, and another position gain for Lewis Hamilton. He's doing thick and fast. This time around, Pierre Gasly overtakes in turn 1. And Daniel Ricciardo also on the mission. He's now on 15th position. Hartley in front of him, and he actually overtakes Hartley in this position. So Lance Stroll, the next man in front of Daniel Ricciardo. Hamilton gets 2 positions in 2 laps, same place turn 1. As this time around, Lewis Hamilton gets another position. He overtakes Carlos Sainz. So 3 laps, 3 positions for Lewis Hamilton. What a speed Lewis Hamilton is showing. And very soon he's going to catch up the other guys in the top 10. He's already gained 11 positions. Next man is Nico Hülkenberg for Lewis Hamilton. As Hamilton is making turn 1 his favorite personal passing place, Sainz was the latest victim as he moves and overtakes Carlos Sainz. Lewis Hamilton on the go here. As we go to lap 11, Valtteri Bottas is still chasing Sebastian Vettel, who is getting clear slowly but surely. Verstappen is already 2 seconds down on Kimi Raikkonen. So surely Ferraris are much faster car than Red Bulls. With Massa further 3 seconds down from Max Verstappen. We are in lap 11. This time around, Nico Hülkenberg is passed by Lewis Hamilton. Perez is next in line in 7th position. Hamilton on the go. Turn 2 incident between Van Dom, Ricardo and Magnussen will be investigated after the race, which happened right at the beginning of the race. As Daniel Ricciardo lines up on Pierre Gasly this time around, and he does it easily on turn 1. So turn 1 is becoming a favorite spot for passing at this Grand Prix. And this time around, Lewis Hamilton, he lines up his car right at the toe of Sergio Perez. As this time around, Lewis Hamilton again at the back of Sergio Perez. Will he make the move? He does it, but it just goes close to Sergio Perez and makes the car outside, and he does it. So another position gained by Lewis Hamilton. He's having a great race here. Starting back of the grid, he's already on 7th position now. Next man, Fernando Alonso. Sheer speed of Lewis Hamilton Mercedes. As Daniel Ricciardo now lines up behind Carlos Sainz of Renault. As we go to lap 16th, now Max Verstappen is lining up behind Kimi Räikkönen with 1.2 seconds gap. as Lewis Hamilton is on a different tire strategy which will probably help him as he's going to go longer in the first stint, and he's just about 15 seconds from the race leader. Felipe Massa ahead of Fernando Alonso in 5th position. Lewis Hamilton in 7th now, 2 seconds behind Fernando Alonso. It will be a matter of time when Lewis Hamilton overtake both the cars. As the track temperature goes to 59 degrees Celsius, drivers are having a lot of graining on their cars, as Kimi Räikkönen is reporting to. As we go to lap 18, Vettel leads comfortably Brazilian Grand Prix with Bottas in 2nd and Kimi Räikkönen in 3rd, who starts struggling with his tires now, and he's reporting to the team about the degradation which is happening on the tires. As we go to lap 19 now, Kimi Räikkönen is falling back quickly on his tires, and he is already 5.3 seconds behind the race leader. Soon we are going to see the pit stoppers to come in the pits. And Ricciardo this time around overtakes Nico Hülkenberg Renault comfortably at turn 1. As Lewis Hamilton is also getting close in for the fight for P5 between Massa and Alonso. As Lewis Hamilton comfortably overtakes Fernando Alonso for P7. Next man is Felipe Massa. as Lewis Hamilton lines up behind Felipe Massa now. He's going to have a go this time around as he comes in turn number 1. And he's going to go for it this time around, and he does it. Lewis Hamilton, much before the stadium section. Massa unable to keep the Mercedes behind him of Lewis Hamilton. So Lewis Hamilton in P6 now. P5, sorry. As Sebastian Vettel leads the Brazilian Grand Prix comfortably, and gap between him and Bottas is now 1.6 seconds. As Max Verstappen now complaining of tire degradation, seems to be pit stop strategy is going to come in picture very soon now. As Lewis Hamilton overtakes both the cars for P6 and P7, he is now in P5. Fernando Alonso behind Felipe Massa, fighting for 6th position now. In the meantime, Roman Grosjean has been handed over 10-second penalty, stop-go penalty, causing a collision earlier in the race. As Bottas is pushing now to get maximum time out of his tires. He's behind Sebastian Vettel with a difference of just about 1.6 seconds. As the battle for 15 goes on between two Saubers of Pascal Wehrlein and Marcus Ericsson, teammates fighting for the position. as Lewis Hamilton front tire, front left, is showing heavy degradation on the tires, and he is on the soft tires, which is very unlikely as he has to definitely give a longer stint on his tires, whereas on Ferrari on super soft the degradation is there but still manageable, as we see the tires of Sebastian Vettel. So that would be interesting stuff for Mercedes, how they are going to manage the strategies for Lewis Hamilton. As we go to lap 26, Vettel comfortably ahead of Valtteri Bottas in second position. Third is Kimi Räikkönen, Max Verstappen fourth, Lewis Hamilton fifth, Felipe Massa sixth, Alonso seventh, Perez eighth, Ricciardo in ninth position, Nico Hülkenberg in 10th position. As we go to lap 27, Kimi Räikkönen is in second position as Valtteri Bottas has finally decided to go for the pit stop. And he joins back on the track in fifth position, P5 for Bottas after having the tire change. This is lap number 27 of Brazilian Grand Prix. Vettel leads, Räikkönen second, 6-second gap, Verstappen in the third position, Lewis Hamilton in fourth, Bottas after the pit stop comes out in P5, Alonso 6th, 7th is Sergio Perez, just behind Alonso, just a second gap, Daniel Ricciardo in 8th position, Nico Hülkenberg 9th, and Carlos Sainz in 10th position. Felipe Massa after the pit stop is in P11. As Vettel also dives down to the pits and Räikkönen leads the race. Surely after the pit stop of Bottas, Ferrari had to react and they have reacted, and Vettel comes out in third position. So he's ahead of Bottas with the same, just about a gap of 8/10 of the second. As Sebastian Vettel comfortably comes out ahead of Valtteri Bottas. As Valtteri Bottas is in the slipstream of Vettel as he comes out of the pits. Valtteri Bottas couldn't make use of the new tires and he's just behind the tail of Sebastian Vettel after the pit stop. Bottas was trying to undercut and was not successful. As Daniel Ricciardo this time around overtakes Sergio Perez. as this time around Kimi Räikkönen comes in the pits for a regular pit stop. Yellow sidewall, soft tire goes in his car. Interesting to see where Räikkönen will join. And Räikkönen joins just ahead of Ricciardo in P4. As the race leader, Lewis Hamilton just before the half distance of this race. Hamilton is going almost at the same pace with Bottas on his soft tires, which looks good for Lewis Hamilton. As Nico Hülkenberg pits this time around. As Sebastian Vettel hits the fastest lap of the race, 1 minute 12.996 seconds on his soft tires. Vettel has gone on soft tires. As Daniel Ricciardo and Verstappen are in 5th and 6th position with Daniel Ricciardo still to stop. Verstappen will surely come around and try to pass Daniel Ricciardo. Ricciardo should be getting out of the way of Max Verstappen here. And he does so. Hamilton in his soft tires is still very quick than as compared to his teammate. As Sergio Perez completes his pit stop and comes in 9th position behind Massa and Alonso. Lewis Hamilton still pretty strong, as we can see clearly the graining on his front left tire, but the pace is still good. As we go to lap number 38, this time around Lance Stroll tries to overtake the Haas car, with all the cars have made their pit stops. Lewis Hamilton is leading with his soft tires. He has to make a pit stop in the next few laps. Sebastian Vettel in second, 3.6 second gap. Valtteri Bottas in third. Kimi Raikkonen 4 seconds behind Valtteri Bottas. Max Verstappen 5th, Daniel Ricciardo 6th, Felipe Massa 7th, Alonso 3 seconds behind Felipe Massa in 8th position, Sergio Perez in 9th, and Pierre Gasly completing the top 10. Gasly is still to make the pit stop and he's posing pretty strongly to Nico Hülkenberg. And this time around, Nico Hülkenberg goes around the outside in turn number 1 and makes the move stick. As Lewis Hamilton gap has been cut down to 3.5 seconds from Sebastian Vettel. However, he leads the race, and in the meantime, Max Verstappen sets the fastest lap of the race in soft tires, 1 minute 12.753 seconds. And this time around, Stroll goes inside and makes the move stick. And Roman Grosjean doesn't allow him and is ahead of Stroll once again. As the lead has been cut down to 2.3 seconds from the lead, Vettel now. In lap 40, Hamilton is just maintaining. Now his pace is coming down. He is just about 2 seconds clear of Sebastian Vettel. In the meantime, Brendan Hartley had been advised to fox this lap and car needs to be retired. And finally the Hamilton, he comes to the pits in lap number 43. Interesting to see how his pit stop goes. Vettel regains the lead. Lewis Hamilton stops the car. Super soft tire goes on his car and no problems whatsoever. Interesting to see where he will join the other cars on track. As Daniel Ricciardo also comes to the pits. So Hamilton and Ricciardo almost at the same time coming in the pits. Super soft tires goes on Ricciardo car also. So both of them are going to fly now. Let's see how much progress they can do now with their super soft tires. Ricciardo and Lewis Hamilton. As Lewis Hamilton joins in 5th position. As Lance Stroll still chasing Roman Grosjean for the 15th position. Both are one lap down. Gasly and Ericsson are in pits for a tire change. And finally Lance Stroll manages to overtake Roman Grosjean as Gasly comes out of the pits. So Lewis Hamilton is being advised that he is in chase of the podium now. In the meantime, Daniel Ricciardo now is chasing Felipe Massa for 6th position, and he should fly now as he gets the fresher look of the super soft tires. Lewis Hamilton already in action, sets the fastest lap, 1:12.012 seconds. Battle for 6th, heating up, Massa and Ricciardo, as he does it easily and comfortably. Daniel Ricciardo moves to 7th position, to 6th. Now he's behind Lewis Hamilton, but they have a bit of a gap. It's almost 16-second gap between Hamilton and Daniel Ricciardo now. as Max Verstappen is getting some graining on the left front tire. Remember, Lewis Hamilton and Daniel Ricciardo are on one-stop strategy, where Ferraris and Bottas are on two-stop strategy. So Vettel should have a good lead keep a gap between him and Lewis Hamilton. Otherwise, he'll be threatened by the undercut from Mercedes of Lewis Hamilton. Vettel leading Brazilian Grand Prix with 2.5 second gap between him and Bottas. Raikkonen further 2 seconds down with Max Verstappen, 4 seconds between Raikkonen and Verstappen. Hamilton is having 6 seconds gap further down. And then Daniel Ricciardo is having a long gap, almost 18 seconds. So as we go to lap number 49, Sebastian Vettel leading Brazilian Grand Prix with 3.3 second gap between him and Bottas, keeping it steady. Raikkonen in 3rd position, Verstappen 4th, Lewis Hamilton in 5th position, Daniel Ricciardo distant 6th position, Felipe Massa 7th, Alonso in 8th position, 9th Force India Sergio Perez, and Nico Hülkenberg last point position for Force India. For Renault. His teammate Carlos Sainz in 11th position. Then the lap down cars: Verlaine, Gasly, Stroll, Marcus Ericsson and Roman Grosjean. As Lewis Hamilton is flying on his super soft tires. Vettel leading with 3.1 seconds, lap number 52 of Brazilian Grand Prix. Drivers out of the race: Brendan Hartley, Esteban Ocon, Kevin Magnussen and Stoffel van Dorn. As lap 53 undergoes, Sebastian Vettel leading Bottas 2.8 second gap, Kimi Räikkönen in third position, Max Verstappen in fourth, Lewis Hamilton in fifth position, Daniel Ricciardo sixth position, Massa, Alonso, Perez and Hülkenberg completing top 10. As Sebastian Vettel seemingly comfortable in his car in lap 54 as he comes around to start the lap number 55 of the race. As Max Verstappen reports the condition of the tires, we go to lap number 55 of this race as Sebastian Vettel comes down to lap Carlos Sainz of Renault. Stroll is complaining now of flat spots and he's saying it's killing his balance and he's not at all happy about it from the team that the tires are safe. In the meantime, Roman Grosjean also didn't like about 10-second penalty which has been given to him by the stewards. Hamilton in the meantime, he's driving in clear air and he's taken another 6/10 out of Verstappen advantage. Also, Kimi Räikkönen is closing on Bottas for P2 now. as Fernando Alonso now lining up his car to attack Felipe Massa. This is lap number 56 of 71 of Brazilian Grand Prix, the last race of Felipe Massa of his Formula One career. This is the second time retirement he's going to go through, as Fernando Alonso behind Felipe Massa is just about 1 second gap between him and Massa. Just about 0.9 of a second behind Felipe Massa. In the meantime, Daniel Ricciardo is picking up time and closing the gap between him and Lewis Hamilton, which eventually is a long gap, but he's slowly picking up this gap. Fernando Alonso reducing the gap further. He's 8/10 of the seconds gap between him and Felipe Massa now. Battle for 7 between Alonso and Felipe Massa. One time as Alonso gets ever closer to Felipe Massa, he should be trying to attack Felipe Massa in next 2 laps. In the meantime, Lewis Hamilton is now very close to Max Verstappen. He's back of Max Verstappen now, and he's going to fancy his chances to overtake Max Verstappen. Red Bulls are surely not the faster cars this weekend as compared to Mercedes. Max Verstappen in 4th position, and Lewis Hamilton is right behind him within 1 second gap. But Max Verstappen is not going to give it easy to Lewis Hamilton. And this time around, Lewis Hamilton is right at the tail of Max Verstappen. He's going to give it a go on Max Verstappen. Will he be able to do it? Yes, he does it. He brings side by side and easily overtake sheer power of Mercedes. Max Verstappen is overtaken by Lewis Hamilton and he moves to P4. as we go to lap 60, 1 of 71 now. 10 laps to go. Vettel is leading. Bottas behind him, 2.4 seconds gap. Kimi Raikkonen, 4.5 second gap between him and the Bottas. Lewis Hamilton now just 4 seconds behind Kimi Raikkonen. Podium is definitely in sight of Lewis Hamilton here, with Max Verstappen now in 5th position, and Red Bull is now showing to be a weaker car this weekend. Massa and Alonso still fighting for 7th position. That's the best position after 3 best teams in top 6. As Max Verstappen requesting the team to come to the pits and have a change of tires, as his team is suggesting no need to stay on the track. Max is definitely not happy with that. Finally, Max Verstappen has the last laugh as he comes to the pits for a tire change. And he has a clean pit stop, comes out of the pits. He should be comfortably ahead of Daniel Ricciardo. No change in the positions. And that makes sense. Daniel Ricciardo is having a clear gap, and Max Verstappen is a driver who doesn't want to drive with any kind of limitations on his car. Comes out in 5th position, and he will surely try to close in the gap between him and Lewis Hamilton, as he has 12-second gap between him and Hamilton. The race lap record is held with John Pablo Montoya, 1 minute 11.473 seconds, 2004. Surely we'll be seeing that, displacing that record today. And Max Verstappen has set the fastest lap of the race and fastest lap of Interlagos circuit here. 1 minute 11.044 seconds. And with his super soft tires, he should be getting more lap records now. As Lewis Hamilton now right behind the tail of Kimi Räikkönen with just about less than a second gap, and he's very close. He makes a lock-up. Lewis Hamilton manages it safely. He came in the slipstream of Kimi Räikkönen. I'm sure next time around he's going to dive inside of Kimi Räikkönen in turn 1. Definitely this will be a good finish for Lewis Hamilton as he started from the pit lane and now he's challenging for the podium to Kimi Räikkönen. Remember, he started from the pit lane and he's chasing for the podium now, right behind Kimi Räikkönen. Kimi Räikkönen has to show the nerves today. In the meantime, also Fernando Alonso is just about half a second behind Felipe Massa for 7th position. As this time around, Lewis Hamilton once again is on the tail of Kimi Räikkönen. Alonso is also ever closer to Felipe Massa with 4/10 of the second gap between him and Massa. As this time around in lap 69, Lewis Hamilton is not close to Kimi Räikkönen and he's locking up once again. It's not doing any good to his tires, Lewis Hamilton, as Kimi Räikkönen fights his position. And in the meantime, there is a problem with Lance Stroll tires. Front left tire has given way and he has to retire the car. Hopefully the tire doesn't get disintegrated and brings the safety car on the track. as Lewis Hamilton, 2 laps to go, giving one more try to overtake Kimi Räikkönen. It won't be so easy for him. This time around, start finish straight. He has some gap as compared to last time. Let's see, he's just behind the toe of Kimi Räikkönen. Doesn't manage it. He's keeping everything ready for the last lap to come. Alonso has still not given up on Felipe Massa for 7th position. Also, Perez is just behind Fernando Alonso. Battle for 7th is heating up as 3 drivers tries to get this position. Massa, Alonso and Sergio Perez. As Lewis Hamilton still trying to get some way to pass Kimi Räikkönen. As Sebastian Vettel starts the final lap of Brazilian Grand Prix. Lewis Hamilton gets the last chance also on Kimi Räikkönen. Will he be able to make it? He's ever closer to Kimi Räikkönen. What a drive by Lewis Hamilton in this race. He is fighting for the 3rd place. Just behind Kimi Räikkönen. This will be his last chance when he crosses the start-finish line and goes to turn number 1. As teammate Sebastian Vettel of Kimi Räikkönen, he comes around and he wins Brazilian Grand Prix. Vettel wins. Bottas in 2nd position. Kimi Räikkönen coming clear, gets the 3rd position. Räikkönen 3rd. Lewis Hamilton comes home in 4th position. Behind them, battle still going on for 7th position. Massa, Alonso and Perez. Alonso is right behind Massa. Will he be able to overtake? Massa is not going to give any chance. Alonso is ever closer. Perez is also looking for some mishap happens. He is going to overtake. Alonso is ever closer to Massa. Let's see whether Alonso gets the 7th position or Felipe Massa holds that position. As Alonso comes right behind and Sergio Perez is also behind Alonso. Anybody can lose this position. Alonso will try all his best, but will he be able to do it? It will be interesting to see. Will Alonso hang on to 8th place or he'll lose out to Sergio Perez? And he comes the line. Alonso manages to keep the position. Brilliant drive by Fernando Alonso. As Felipe Massa is bid with farewell of his career, he finishes off in 7th position, the best position after 3 best teams finishing top 6. Fernando Alonso in 8th position, 9th Sergio Perez, 10th Nico Hülkenberg. As Sebastian Vettel makes some donuts for Brazilian fans. With this, I'll bring close to this live commentary of Brazilian Grand Prix. Look forward in 2 weeks' time in Abu Dhabi. Good day, take care.